everyone, it's William. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope the month of October is treating you well and that you are all excited for trick or treating. One of the most difficult things that people with autism face is transitioning because of their fear of change. Transitioning from point A to point B or moving from X to Y. And that can really affect your daily routine as a parent, like having to go to the grocery store or dropping your kids off at school. Or if you yourself are autistic, then your struggle with transitioning can affect how you feel about getting a new job or going to school or living on your own. So it all comes down to how can we help them transition? How can we, as autistic individuals, transition? But before I dive right into that topic, if you are new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comments section to help boost this video. And if you like this video and would love to see a more in-depth discussion about autistic individuals with change, please be sure to subscribe to my Patreon. I coach individuals through messaging and provide advice on my Patreon. I make more educational autism-related content that you won't see on any of my socials. Plus, Patreon helps me to create more content. And now, without further ado, let's get on with the topic. Here's an example of what I mean when struggling with change. You take Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. When Harry's name was selected from the Goblet of Fire for the Triwizard Tournament, he was not prepared or eager for this change. In fact, he wanted to back out. Why? One, because this was very unexpected. He never put his name in the Goblet of Fire because the rule says that you can only be 17 to enter, and he was only 14. Second, he knew that there were many dangers he'd have to face in the Triwizard Tournament, and he was a very inexperienced wizard, so he wasn't prepared for it either. And he stressed about this change all year because he didn't know how he was going to go through it or survive, and he couldn't back out because the magical contract forbids people from opting out. So he basically felt like he was forced to get himself killed. But he had help getting through this change. That's very similar to what autistic individuals go through when experiencing change or transitioning. The changes are often unexpected, and we fear what's going to go wrong, so we need help getting through those changes. Now, most people who follow me on Instagram or TikTok or on YouTube know that I am autistic. So you might be asking, did you ever struggle with change or transitioning? And the answer is, I still do. Why though? Why do I struggle with transitioning? Because it's scary. Change is scary. I remember when I was in preschool, I always threw a tantrum when getting on the bus for school. I bawled and screamed because I didn't want to go. Why didn't I want to go? Because I had separation anxiety. My mom and I were inseparable. I didn't want to leave. I also thought it was going to be really boring. There were a lot more fun things to do at home, like watch TV or play in the backyard or with my favorite toys that the school didn't have. I didn't know anybody there. Meeting new people was always scary for me. So making friends was challenging because I was already used to talking to my mom, my sister, and anybody who came to our house. How I got over that as I got older, I don't fully know. But I do know that my mom had to buckle down and ignore my screams and tantrums and make me go through it. Because what choice does she really have? Being a single mom who can take care of me while she's at work or when she goes grocery shopping. People did stare when I threw tantrums in public, and she had to let that slide off her shoulders and pay no attention to that. I thank my mom's persistence that I eventually decided to just accept the new routine. Now you fast forward to my adult life. I remember when I was going to move to a small town in Washington, I was already scared because I didn't like the town setting or the fact that it was so small and that I was going to be away from my family and friends. I was also broke and didn't know how I was going to get by while slowly earning money. Getting a new job is scary because I put all my time and effort into adapting and settling in with my previous setting before getting a job, be it living at home unemployed with nothing to do except sleep, clean, eat, play video games, work out, or work in a job that I felt was time to leave and move on. I didn't know the people who I'd be working with, and I've had social anxiety because people love to be friendly and joke around, and I try to join in on that and come off in a way that people find inappropriate or offensive. I meet a lot of people that don't understand autism and are not willing to understand it or make appropriate accommodations or modifications to help me navigate the job. So, how do I know they're going to be different? It's very easy to trigger my past memories that I have that were unpleasant when I was mistreated badly for being autistic. It's easy for me to stress about getting fired because once you're fired from a job, that goes on your record and it makes it even harder for you to get another job. Plus, I know employers are skeptical of hiring autistic people. So if I get fired, how am I gonna get by and not end up homeless? Yeah, I could move in with my parents or my sister, but I'm a grown man. I want to be independent. Plus, I have a nasty habit of competing or comparing myself to others. When I live with people who get up, go to work, provide for their home and families, I feel like I should be doing it. And when I'm not, I feel like a loser, a lowlife, if you will. When I'm feeling that way, I feel pressure to jump the gun or get ahead of myself, which sets me up for failure. And failure makes me feel even worse about myself. The point is, after listening to all my rambling, that the main reason why I struggle with change is because I am predicting too far ahead into the future. And I am making hundreds of negative predictions about the future. If I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen in the future and I have to do it because I don't have a choice, I freak out. I feel so bad for my mom who has to put up with text after text from me when I'm having anxiety. Same with my sister and other friends. There's very little you can say that will help alleviate that. I don't want you to just tell me everything's going to be all right. I want you to convince me. I want you to walk me through on what is going to happen. I want all my worrisome questions about upcoming changes answered, and when I think of more. If a person with autism is having a panic attack or a meltdown about changing, I don't think you should force them to be okay with it. I think you should encourage them to embrace the fact that they are afraid of change. Everybody is afraid of certain changes, like being a new parent or getting fired all of a sudden. It doesn't do any good to waste time stressing over this or fight with yourself to be okay with it. So embrace the fact that you are unhappy about this change. Let your autistic kids be okay with not being okay with this change. It's okay to not be okay. What it really bogs down to is that I need to have a backup plan for everything that can go wrong about this upcoming change. I need to have a visual outline of how I'm going to tackle this change. Let's take going viral, for instance. When I went viral on TikTok, I was pacing everywhere with anxiety because I had so many people commenting on my stuff and asking me for help that I felt pressure to answer every single person because I don't like to send a message to someone and be ignored, and I don't want to make anyone else feel that way. I'm a people pleaser in case you couldn't already tell. So I'm posting on multiple forums, asking how to respond to a million comments. The thing I got out of it the most was that you don't have to do it all at once. And that's what I'm always advising people on the autism spectrum or parents with autistic children is that they don't have to tackle everything at once. Write your task list out, do two steps, take a break, move on to the next two. How about addressing the backup plan I need for everything that I fear will go wrong? Most of the time, I want people to answer what I want them to do. What if my boss fires me for being autistic? Then I'll march right over to him, kick his ass, and make him accept you. What if this female coworker thinks I'm hitting on her and reports me for fraternizing? Then I will smack her in the face and tell her to grow up. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get those responses. And the annoying thing is that I'm always looking for loopholes about what could go wrong. But we need to have a backup plan in case something doesn't work out. We need to be reassured that everything is going to work out. We need something to look forward to about the change. Like, how about transitioning from classroom to classroom? How about getting to see your favorite teacher or getting to do this fun activity in the next class? How about getting a big fat paycheck at work, a big new house, car, etc.? So, to sum up everything that I have talked about, people with autism need to be warned about upcoming changes. They need to know what to expect. They need to know how they're going to tackle this change. They need to have a backup plan. And they need to have something to look forward to that this change has to offer. I hope that this video was helpful. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comments section. Please be sure to also subscribe to my Patreon so I can keep making content, or if you have a video request. And I will see you all in the next video.